Hey friend, I hope you're having a good day. So today we're going to go ahead and talk about two of my photography shots. And then at the very end of the video, I'm also going to talk about a photographer that really inspires me. I ended up finding about her through another YouTuber whenever I started doing photography for the first time. And I just started looking at her work and I just fell in love with it. It's just amazing. So that's basically who I base most of my work from and how I take my pictures and everything and trying to capture that like just emotional essence in a picture of like daily life. So, but first let's go ahead and talk about my first shot. So for my first shot, it's going to be automated fast food. This shot right here. So for automated fast food, it was actually last second. This is in Austin. And I ended up walking. This is a bridge that goes across through downtown. And it goes over the Colorado River because I was taking pictures of the Colorado River. And what I really liked about this is that I hadn't seen this before. So I'm pretty sure that this was for Chick-fil-A in Austin. And it's an automated robot that takes the food, for takeout, takes the food over to, or for whoever asks for fast food, delivers the food from Chick-fil-A over to a customer at their house or their apartment or something like that. But there is a worker that is following it with a scooter just to make sure nothing happens to the robot, basically. But whenever I was trying to capture that because one, it is something that is starting to happen a lot more, and maybe in the future there will be like flying, actual flying drones, kind of like there are in Seattle. They are already delivering packages with drones and everything, but there are a lot of things that they have to jump over and stuff like that, as far as maybe people shooting the drones down or hitting the drones and taking the packages and stuff like that. But basically, I just wanted to capture this as fast as possible. I ended up missing most of my shots because I wasn't ready for it, because I was shooting much slower down at the river, and I ended up having to like bump up my shutter speed so I can actually get this shot. And I ended up getting at an awkward angle, but I still ended up getting it, so it works. But yeah, I really wanted to show you guys this because it's the beginning phases of all of this, like self-delivery type of futuristic stuff that will be happening in the next few years. And I thought it was just really cool because I also ended up seeing a few months ago, I'm not going to find the video now, but a few months ago I ended up seeing where there was one of these that was automated. I think it was in Miami or something. And they ended up leaving just a robot by itself going and delivering the food, and people would knock it over and take the food out of there. So that is one of the reasons why I think this will probably never work, because people can just take the food from it. I think it's more on the drone side will probably work much better. But basically, I ended up getting this at an awkward angle, so that's why there is that like slant, which is just something that I usually don't like because it just cuts and it doesn't really like give you any depth. Yes, there are cars behind it and everything, but still, it's not my style. But either way, I wanted to capture, and I ended up getting at the last second. So that's why I ended up, using this photo because it's still something pretty interesting to capture. Okay, and then for this next one, it is also from Austin, and it is called Hard at Work. So for Hard at Work, I liked it a lot because it basically shows you the nitty gritty of daily life in Austin. If you have never been to Texas, there will be something that you will experience. Well, no, it's all over the United States basically, but construction is like huge in all over the states. There's always construction going on, especially here. We have this highway called I-35, I-35 West, because I-35 East, it gets worked on every so often, but not as much as I-35 West. So we've been having it worked on for more than 10 years now, and it's still being worked on. And we think it's never going to get finished just because people keep getting here and they keep expanding it, and then more people get here and they have to expand it even more. But basically, I ended up capturing this because it just it shows you the essence of people that work in construction in Texas, because a lot of people do work in construction in Texas. And I just really like this shot because it has like 3 subjects. So basically you can look at the person that's actually on top of the machine, and then you can look at the person that's holding the slow sign, which is another shot that I ended up uploading a few months ago, where it's just him holding the slow sign. And then there's also the other person that's at the other side of the machine, and he's just picking up the actual pavement, because I'm pretty sure that this is a machine that lays pavement, and they just cornered off that part of the street just so that they would be able to, you know, lay the pavement down and just keep going while there's people like rushing all over this is like literally in downtown, so there's people like just driving all over the place, and I guess they are running out of time or something, but either way, it made it for a very interesting shot, and that's why I ended up shooting this. And I just thought it was really interesting, you know, showing you guys the daily life of people here in Texas, and especially when it comes to construction work. But as far as today, I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about one of my biggest inspirations for street photography. And whenever I first started doing street photography, I didn't know where I wanted to go with street photography. I would just take pictures with like no real like reason, just, you know, just because I was depressed and I wanted to take pictures. So I would just go out and take pictures of everything, like, you know, architecture, just people, like dogs on the road and stuff like that, just everything. But whenever I saw her work, I fell in love with it. And she actually didn't become famous until after she passed away, but she ended up taking 150,000 photos like that actually like are printed in her lifetime, which is crazy. But she ended up taking pictures in New York, Chicago, and LA, and just her pictures are so amazing. So her name is Vivian Dorothy Mayer, and she is amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you guys about some of her shots. And for the first shot, let's go to my photos real quick. So for the first shot, it's a reflection shot, which I found really amazing. I'm not sure exactly how many actual cameras she used, but the main one that she's using is this one right here, and it's a film camera. But just how much emotion she captures on the streets is just what inspired me to go ahead and go out and take these pictures of people and just like getting them in the moment. She is definitely my biggest inspiration. So there's this selfie right here, and then this next one, which is awesome. It's like she's using kind of like a selfie shot, but then she's using her shadows so you can actually see inside of the glass. So kind of like she doesn't have to put her camera on the actual glass to see inside. She's using her shadow as like a reflection to see inside, which is so smart. And it's just you can tell that she spent a lot of time on the street taking pictures, just by figuring out all these like different methods of taking pictures. And just, oh my gosh, like whenever I saw this, I was like, oh, this is gold. Okay, and this next one, it is of somebody, I'm guessing, getting into a cab, but it's just so it's so hard to explain. It's like you just, it's art. It's just art. It's like so in the moment. It's like it almost seems like this photo specifically is the one that I derive like my thinking shot photos from. So whenever I take a picture of somebody and like I see them lost in thought, I end up taking this picture. And whenever I take that picture, I derive it from this one. I'm just like, okay, well, it's kind of like, you know, the one that Vivian took, where she's basically taking a picture of somebody and they look like they're thinking, or either they're looking in one direction, but it looks like they're lost in thought or something like that. And that's how I ended up, you know, capturing that type of essence in my photography from looking at her work, like this photo right here. And then on this next one, it's awesome. Obviously, that track up top is from Chicago, and then there's a horse and somebody riding on a horse. It's just, it's so good. You have to be a street photographer, I guess, to get the essence of these photos and like the artistic feel of it. But for me, it's so deep, and especially this one, I can draw so much emotion from it, and that's how I have taken photos before. And you know, she's just a huge inspiration to me from photos like this one. And this next one is like so genuine. So there's one thing that, so she would take a lot of pictures of children just because they were, I guess it was like so easy to catch emotion from kids. And I'm a little iffy about that. Especially like nowadays, it's like so much, I guess it's not seen as innocent as, you know, me going and like taking a picture of a kid like right in front of them and everything. But it's, I guess it would be easier for women to do it. But for me specifically, especially in nowadays, I'm not gonna go ahead and go and take pictures of kids. If I want to take pictures of, like, you know, it's a little kid that I find interesting or something like that, I'm usually gonna take the picture of the kid with their parent, and then, you know, or at least have the parent in some, you know, portion of the frame, just so it doesn't look like I'm being creepy and taking a picture. But she ended up taking a whole bunch of pictures like these, and it just works out. It looks awesome, and it was a different time, so I'm guessing that it was so much easier to get away with like taking pictures like that. But I'm not bashing it. Obviously, I'm nobody to bash photos or saying, oh well, you know, you shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. But, you know, it's just nowadays I don't feel comfortable doing that. But she definitely killed it with all of these photos. This shot is just amazing. And this next one, it's like little kids playing, just like playing, having fun. I don't even know what that is. It's like little whip. Oh no, it's a jump rope. They're holding a jump rope. It's just awesome. It's like, it's such genuine emotion, and that's one of the things that I try to capture with a lot of my street photography. Is I try to capture genuine emotion. There are some photos that I've captured before where I have people crying, and I'm always like iffy about uploading them and everything. But, you know, I just have to like actually just upload them just because they're like so emotional. I'm just like iffy about like, well, you know, this person was having a bad time, and I really don't want to put this on the internet if they don't want me to put it on the internet. Or, you know, let's say one day they ended up finding it. But the thing is that, you know, it's public space, so you could have taken a picture with a camera or with an iPhone. As long as you're not making money from it, I mean, you're not like, it should be fine. As far as like selling the picture and stuff like that, like the pictures that I do end up selling, it would be like architecture and stuff like that, or like beautiful landscapes and stuff like that. Or if you can't tell who the person is, which is perfect, because, you know, then who is the person? But yeah, there's just such genuine emotion, and all of her photos have like such humanity in them. It's amazing. So this is Vivian is definitely one of my biggest inspirations for doing street photography. So whenever I first started doing street photography, again, I didn't know where I wanted to go with my street photography and everything. And then after a while, I ended up finding my groove with what I wanted to shoot. And after that, you know, it was just like just a roller coaster, just going up and down, just taking pictures and doing whatever I can to, you know, capture as much as daily life as I can. So one of the bad things about Texas is that it's extremely hot. Like today, I ended up taking my dog to the park, and he's already dying just from being 1 hour outside in the, you know, heat. It's like 101 in late afternoon. So it's kind of hard to do street photography, especially during the summer here. But I'm gonna probably end up going out this Saturday and doing some street photography, but, you know, waking up like at 5 a.m. and then just going out to like Dallas or something and taking pictures and just showing you guys some of my stuff, or like, you know, some of the ways that I do street photography. So look forward to that, because that's more likely going to happen this weekend. But yeah, I hope you I always say you guys whenever I'm literally only talking to one person at a time. But I hope you have a good night, and I'll catch you next time.